All right, welcome back to It's Time Picks. We got UFC 283, Clover Teixeira and Jamal Hill on deck. Man, this is an exciting card. There is a lot going on, 15 fights, lots of finishes coming up. I like it. First fight on the card, we have Daniel Marcos and Simon Oliveira. Go ahead and start it off.
So Oliveira, he's he's a training partner with Charles Oliveira. He's a very slick BJJ guy who thinks he can strike, but he throws wild. Mainly throws wild to get close, get the clinch, pull guard, and then work his magic with his BJJ. Marcos, he's more of a better striker. Is he powerful? Not really, but he's good, decent footwork, has good combos. Questionable-ish takedowns, but and he has his own takedowns, but if he's smart, he won't need to go to his takedown routes in this fight. Use his striking, takedown defense, and he can go from there. For a DraftKings play, I think Oliveira. I said the same thing last week when I mentioned Nascimento. Nascimento needed an early sub to pay that off, and he made me ate my words. But I think Nascimento's a better prospect than Oliveira. Oliveira, I don't like his BJ. I don't like calling people just a nerd in one category, but he's pretty much a sub or bust nerd to an extent. He'd probably kick my ass with it, but I'm leaning Marcos because, like I said, he has good takedown defense. He's from what I've seen, his IQ is good. I know he had a layoff before the Contender Series fight. There were times where people were questioning that, and he was the dog in that fight, and he came out and made that shit look smooth. Outstruck the guy easy with fluid combinations. Only thing I'm a little worried about, he is a bit wild to an extent. He likes to do flying knees, and just don't do that. All you gotta do is use your basic striking, your basic 1-2 combinations, and you can win a point decision in this fight. So my pick is Marcos.
That's fair. Marcos definitely has a path to victory if he wins. I'm not sure his score is high enough, but
that's my only worry.
Doesn't really matter a whole lot as a dog, especially if other dogs don't win. But I'm going to be opposite with you. I am going to go Simon Oliveira. We watched Nascimento last week with Oliveira in his corner, and man, it makes a world of difference. And I think we see something, similar. You got to remember, Oliveira does have 5 knockouts to his record. So, I mean, it's not like he doesn't have power, regardless of what kind of knockout they were or are. He is definitely a submission specialist. And it's only going to take one time on the mat, and Marcos is likely going to be done. But at the same time, Marcos is 13-0. We have no idea how he's going to look in the UFC. This is going to be a bit of a step up in competition. So it's definitely one to watch. This is, I would say, GPP only for either one of the guys. If Marcos wins, it's probably a decision. If Oliveira wins, it's probably a submission in the first or second round.
Only thing I'll say about Marcos, he might be a decent cash dog if you want to try to pay up for some of the other people, but I'd prefer this more as a GPP. This might come back and bite me on my ass, like Nascimento, but I'm not playing Oliveira. I just think he's too pull guard and wild, but I think Marcos can just use his basic 1-2s, and I almost want to fade this fight as a whole because I don't know if Marcos wins, I don't see him scoring well to an extent, maybe mid 70s at 7,600. I think there's some other dogs I do prefer underneath him. Oliveira, if he wins, he's more likely going to get a sub within under 2.5, and depends on what he else does. It might score decent at his price tag, but I think he needs an early round one to absolute steamroll that price.
All right. So you're going with Marcos. I'm going Oliveira. Look at that. We're already split in the first pick.
Yep.
I did forget to mention last week, both of us went 9-2. Both of us 1-0 in our locks. So good job there. Next up, we have Josiane Nunes and Zara Fairn. I am not a fan of this fight.
I don't think
at all.
I got
Nunes, she's looked good in the UFC, and I'll give it to her. I just think she's favored by way too much. And the only reason I say that is because Fairn has 5-6 inches on her, and that's huge. Nunes has to get into the pocket. She's definitely going to be the faster of the two. I don't think Fairn is worth a damn. But when it comes to DFS, I just don't think unless Nunes scores that knockout, I don't think it's going to score worth a damn.
Only thing I'll say about Fern, I'm not going with her one bit. You can't even put a gun in my head. I'm not picking her. But her first 2 fights, yeah, gotta say she had a good kickboxing background before coming into the UFC. And she's actually finally getting a pure striking match. But going against Megan Anderson, who's pretty much like the Yao Ming of females in the fight game, and who is it? Another Felicia Spencer, which all she's gonna do is hug you and blanket you the whole time. Now she's going against pretty much an Oompa Loompa who has powerful hands. I think this fight is going to go over the 1.5. I've seen people say, "Oh, what if Nunes gets that first?" I want to see how she can hit her. Like, yeah, Fern's tall. Fern does have experience in kickboxing. I think this fight could potentially go 3 rounds. Low
I think so
scoring.
too. I think it'll be similar to the last fight that Nunes had against Pascal. She was 5'7", so she's only.
And the crazy thing is, people are saying, "Oh, she's gonna knock Fern out." She couldn't even knock down Pascal, and Pascal just got freaking TKO not too long ago.
Yeah, I mean, Farron, to be fair, was knocked out in both of her fights in the first round. So I mean, it's there. She's not. She doesn't have a chin, but I'm with you. I'd like the over 1.5, maybe even all 3, because I just don't see a finish coming out of this.
And if Nunes doesn't get a first round finish, I don't see her. There's no way in a chance of hell she pays that off. Should be low owned in GPP if you think, oh, she can get that good first round finish, maybe about what's she like 95? Yeah, 95. So pretty much you're probably gonna need a knockdown, a finish, and hope she gets within 115, 120 points for 9,500.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
But all right, both of us going with Josie. It's not too difficult. Next up, we have Warley Alves and Nicholas Dalby. I've gone back and forth on this fight quite a bit until I decided on what I was going to go with. I'll let you take it off first, though.
So, Alves, if you're going to consider a fight, Alves is the more dangerous guy. He's well-rounded, insane, wild power. And one thing he does, is he the best BJJ guy? He's all right, but he's very good with the guillotine. If someone shoots, he snatches that neck up quick. Dalby, he's a good karate striker, good quick stance. When he actually lets his hands go, he has good combinations. That's when he lets his hands go. He's sometimes too gun shy. He wants to act like he's a wannabe Wonder Boy Thompson, which he's not. So my lean is this. If Alves doesn't get round 1 finish, this could be a slow pace fight. Because we know Alves is going to come in very aggressive round 1. Before, I know everyone's saying Dalby's never been knocked out, but he just got TKO'd ideally, but it got overturned due to Jesse Robinson with this, I believe it was a steroid. But
I don't remember.
Some kind of, so I think it was a steroid, but they overturned that fight. But before then, Dalby's never been knocked out. Could he get knocked down this fight if he's too patient? Possibly. But my worry is if Alves doesn't get it round 1, there's a chance Dalby could slowly get his combinations going and maybe cruise to a low scoring decision. So
that's the only way that Dalby wins.
Probably going to go Dalby because I think ideally he's the more, I don't want to use the word, but I say more safer fighter because if Alves has shown at the round 1, he does slow down.
So I'm opposite again. I am on Alves because I just cannot take Dalby in a fight. He fights far too defensive and I just hate it. I can't stand it. Alves is far more problematic in this matchup. He's got the power. He can take him on the feet. He should have the volume. And then if he wants to mix in his wrestling, then it's absolutely over. And if Warley Alves were to come out and say, I'm going to get a takedown around and I'm going to wrestle this guy on the ground, Dalby was controlled for 15 minutes total over the last 3 fights, whatever it is. Means had him for 8 minutes. And I think Claudio had him for 7. So, he can't do anything on his back. And if Alves is smart, he's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go for that double or single. I'm going to put you on your back and then I'm just going to control you. And on top of that, Alves has more power than both of those other 2 guys, and he could easily ground and pound finish. So I'm all on Alves.
I would say this fight, if you're going to do a GPP, I would say it's Alves, but then you got to hope he gets that round 1 finish. If he does get that round 1 finish, he's more likely going to be optimal at 8,300. Dolby,
Absolutely.
if only thing I'll say about Dolby, if you're gonna play him, good luck. But if he lets his hands go, especially after round one, if you see Alves is tired,
Dude,
he
Dalby and Hands go do not belong
I
in the same
know,
sentence.
but
Get
some
out
people
of here.
said the same thing about Krylov, and Krylov finally let his hands go. Thank you.
Yeah,
He finally let his hands go.
Dalby's been in it too long. He ain't gonna do it. It's just
He's
not
up
gonna
there in
happen.
age. He's about
He
38,
he
39.
likes
But
he likes to be slow and defensive, and that's how he wins
sometimes
his
he's hittable
fights.
with it. That's the only thing that
Yeah,
scares me, especially round one. You don't want to be hittable against
absolutely. And
Alves.
even when he does win, he doesn't score well. So Dalby is a
No.
zero on
Dolby's
my.
I'm not
I
gonna
will
play
not
him at
take him
all.
anywhere.
The only thing I'll say about Dolby, if you're a gambling degenerate, if you notice maybe after round one or even after round two, if it's close fight after round two, and you see Alves tired, a sprinkle on Dolby's money line is not bad, but like anything with fantasy purpose, I'm not touching Dolby with 1,000-foot pole.
Nope.
Even though he's my pick, it'll win a boring decision. Because there's times where I pick Alves and he just screws me. Times I pick against him, I can't win with the guy. So I guess I'll go with the ideal safer fighter. But like, we'll see if he survives round one.
All right. I'm going with Alves. You're going with Dalby. We are split, and we might be split on this next one too. This is one of my favorite fights on the card. We have Ishmael Bonfim and Terrence McKinney.
You go first.
I am absolutely pumped for this fight because there is not a fight that Terrence McKinney is a part of that is boring. He comes out hot immediately and is just balls to the wall. I was on T-Rex to start the week. I am no longer on him. I think that both Bonfim brothers are going to win this week, and both of them are going to come in hot. They are definitely highly touted prospects. They have completely well-rounded games. And what did it for me when I went back and watched video on Ishmael, his counter striking is just dope.
Filthy.
And Terrence McKinney is going to try to get in because that's just what he does. And he is going to get countered over and over until he drops. And if McKinney wants to take it to the mat, I'd probably be more on him because I do think that he is the better grappler. Not that Bonfim can't grapple, but I do think T-Rex is the better grappler. But my pick is going to be Bonfim, and I think he's going to be excellent in this fight.
So before we started this video, I told you there could be a surprise in one of my picks. I'm on Bonfim.
You're going against your boy, huh?
I hate to do it, but only thing I'll say, parents, if you're watching this, wrestle. You do not want to get hit by this kid in Brazil. You're going to come in, think you're an aggressive striker, which you are. All it's going to take is one clean shot, and you could go to sleep. I hope I'm wrong. But this Bonfim brother is the more wild of the Bonfim brothers.
Yes, the other one is a lot better and more complete.
This one's the other one we'll talk about later is a lot better one, more controlled, slightly more well-rounded, but this one is the more aggressive striker brother. I know you're an aggressive guy. You like to let the hands go round one. If you want to win, you gotta wrestle. And sometimes and this is what sometimes I don't like wrestlers that fall in love with their hands. That's what I said about Soriano, a wrestler that fell in love with his power.
Yep.
And if Terrence does that in this fight, he is going to get flatlined round one. And that's why I'm on Bonfim. His power is scary. I watched the Bonfim brothers on the Contender Series. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm on this Bonfim brother. He's probably going to be like my most exposed underdog at 7,700.
Yep.
I'm not saying, if you want to pick this fight, pick your side. You definitely got to pick your side. It hurts me to say because I am a McKinney guy, but there's some matchups. This ain't a good one if you're going to stand with him.
Well, I certainly did not expect that, but both of us going with Bonfim. Very surprised there. Next, we have Luan Lacerda and Cody Stamen. Go ahead, Joey.
So this is Lacerda's debut. He's a very good BJJ guy. Oh, I said gay. Good Lord. BJJ guy. He's very long for his size. Is he the best striker? No. But he's just going to use his size. He uses his little jabs. Stamen, he's a good boxer, been boxing since 16, but he's a better wrestler. He wrestled all levels. I'm on Stamen. I don't agree with the line. I think the line's absolute atrocious. I don't think he's almost a 4-1 favorite. But Stamen's been fighting tough guys in division, and this is a step down. I know they brought Lacerda in because he's from Brazil, and I forget who he was supposed to fight before Lacerda actually said that it was supposed to be a better fight, close fight, but Lacerda took it. I think there's a chance Stamen could absolutely just wrestle him the whole time. And Lacerda, he accepts the bottom. That's the only thing I don't like. Like, if he's actually attacking, sometimes he just tries to pull his guard and just lay there. That's just going to rack up control time. That's just going to allow Stamen to get up and down if he wants to and just take him down, control him. So I'm going to go Stamen. If you want to try to go Lacerda, the only thing I'll say is Stamen's submission defense ain't the best. Sometimes his entries are sloppy, and Lacerda can catch a neck. He's very counter grappler. But if he doesn't get a sub, I think Stamen just controls him the whole fight.
So we are both on Stamen, but for slightly different reasons. I don't think
Okay.
Stamen's going to want to wrestle in this fight. Lacerda is dangerous on the mat. He is a submission guy, but I think Stamen has like 5 times the power of Lacerda, and all Stamen has to do is keep this on the feet, and he's eventually going to knock him out. So I agree with him being a 4-1 favorite. I'd be okay with him if he was a 5-1 favorite, because I do not think that Lacerda is going to have any chance in this fight unless he catches the neck. So I am definitely on Stamen. I think that's easy. I think in the first round, he could easily smash his
200
price, but outside of the first round, I don't know if he'd hit it value wise, but I definitely have him winning. Sounds like you got him winning. So it's a relatively
Stamen,
easy one.
I'll say about Stamen, he's currently one of my sleepers for GPP. I know, yes,
Yeah,
I know he finally got his knockout against Wyman, but I think any amount of wind could knock out Eddie Wyman nowadays.
Oh God, yeah.
And I hate to say it because I grew up watching him. Good, entertaining guy, but don't be shocked if Cody tries to use his strength and tries to muscle, maybe a TKO type of ground and pound, but because Lacerda's more better on the top stuff, but
Either way, both of us going with Stamen. Pretty easy pick. This next fight, we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on. Shamil Abdurakhimov and Jailton Almeida. Abdurakhimov has been knocked out 3 consecutive times in the first, or I think it's twice in the first and 1 in the second. Either way, 3 consecutive fights. He's
pretty much under 2.5.
And now he gets somebody who is just unbelievably gifted and talented. And for Almeida, I think the only problem, if there is any, is going against a heavyweight that's this big. I think that's the only issue he could run into. I don't see it being an issue though, because people might say, oh, he might have a hard time, getting him to the mat because he wants to lift him up. No, all he has to do is trip him and he's going to be on top. So this fight's going to be over in the first round. There's nothing else to it.
I'm definitely on Almeida. He's a guy that decides, you know what, I can fight both 205 and a heavyweight. He's deciding to fight a heavyweight because he doesn't want to cut, which I don't blame him. He's looking damn good.
He looks amazing.
And I'll say this, his one fight against Parker Porter, which I don't think Parker Porter's a bum. He has decent wrestling, but Parker Porter is a good striker. He picked, I was like, how the hell is he going to pick up Parker Porter? He picked him up like he was nothing.
Yeah, it'll be the same way in this fight.
Honestly, this is what I can see happening. The only thing is, what scares me is at 9,700. It's going to be hard. If you don't have enough good dogs, it's going to be hard to put him and then fill up the rest of your line.
Correct.
And there's some people saying, what if he's low owned? He's not going to be low owned.
I can see in GPP, I could see him being owned at like maybe 35-40%.
Yeah.
But
like,
he got
dogs. Like, I think he's a lock and cash.
Yeah.
Lock and cash.
Oh God, yeah.
You play him, and then you try to build your lineup with that. But GPP, I may be one of those guys because I sometimes run only one line. I may try to fade that fight and just hope to the good Lord above he doesn't get like under a 60-second finish. Then he scores like 130 something freaking points. Then he pays that off. So if he can get past that 60 seconds, if he doesn't get a quick takedown or knockout, and maybe only scores like, let's say barely over 100, I may be able to take a deep breath. Like, but if you're not picking Almeida, you can't even bet him because his line's too freaking high. Only thing I can think about is maybe you can try to find an individual round prop, maybe a knockout prop. That's how I see him winning. I see him, even if he gets takedown, I see a TKO. I don't see a sub in this fight.
It's going to be a first round finish regardless. That's what I would do. I wouldn't. Those
That's
odds
the only
are
thing I can
probably
say is, but even those odds there are probably going to be high for a prop. So
probably bet your house on it.
but
All
yeah,
right, both
pretty
of
much
us going
Almeida and
with
cash.
both of us
GPP if you
going
want to
with
get
Almeida.
different.
Pretty easy there. There's no doubt about that. All right. We have the other Bonfim brother, Gabriel and Lazez. At the beginning of the week, I was a little bit on Lazez. I'm not on Lazez at all anymore. I just don't see how he has any chance in this fight unless he kicks him to death, and I don't think he's going to be able to. Bonfim is this Bonfim brother is extremely well coached. He is very balanced. He is very well rounded. He has an excellent game everywhere it could go. He should control this fight from beginning to end and make it relatively easy.
So I'm predicting this. I know I picked the younger other Bonfim brother, but this is what only scares me about this fight. Let's say McKinney wins. That's more pressure on that brother to perform even more.
I don't think so.
But the whole time, I know this Bonfim brother is more well-rounded. He's more comfortable on the ground with his ground control and BJJ. He still has his own power in his own right, but Lazaz is the better pure striker. And on paper, if you go back to watch this Bonfim brother, on paper, this is going to be the more, you could say, difficult striker he's going to fight because Lazaz is a good striker. Good, fast, explosive combinations. He's going to need his takedown defense because ideally he has good takedown defense. He's going to need it in this fight. Because I think if he can keep it on the feet, he could win a volume decision.
I don't think he's going to be able to.
But if he doesn't keep it on the feet, I think this Bonfim brother gets in dominant position, possibly even full mount or gets the hooks in and snatches the neck.
I could see a triangle in the first round.
My pick, really could. I'm on Lazaz. I know it's crazy. I want one brother, not the other. I know it's crazy. But this, to me, I think I'm not okay. This might come out wrong. I'm on Lazaz because I think if you look at both brothers' fights, this is the more harder fight. Because Lazaz, in his own mind, is a good striker. Like I just said, good takedown defense. McKinney, he just needs the other brother. Oh shit! The other brother just needs to watch the power from McKinney, counter strike, boom. He can win that fight in the first round. This one, it wouldn't shock me if it goes over 1.5. If this Bonfim doesn't get the submission, so I'm slightly on Lazaz. He's not going to be my ideal lock. How I had one last week, but if he keeps it on the feet, he can win a better striking match because to me, he is the better striker.
All right, we are split once again. I'm going with Gabriel Bonfim. You are going with Munir Lazez. You're going to lose that one.
We'll see.
All right, next one.
Soriano.
Tiago Moises, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. Mel
I'll just call him Costa.
Yeah, Costa. Are you
going to do it?
Costa's got to keep it on the feet for this. In the second this hits the mat, Moises is going to submit him. That's really all there is to this one. And I think Moises is tired of losing. So I think he's going to come out.
This is a major step down.
Yeah, I think he comes out. I mean, he did beat Giagos, or however you want to say it.
Another good grappler in his own mind, but he made it look
that first round submission. But those 2 losses in a row, I think, really sparked something. And I think we're going to get another first round submission out of him.
But think about this: he lost to the champ, Makhachev.
Yep.
Nobody fully,
Good loss.
Yeah, that's a good loss. Alvarez, no one expected that one, but Alvarez came in and just struck him.
I did. I picked him. Remember?
You called it. I'll give you that one. You called Joe Alvarez. I was actually on freaking Moises in that fight. Then he got a rebound fight against Giagos. Took care of that fight easy. Moises, don't get me wrong, he is very dangerous in this fight. Does he have his own good striking? I'd say about mid-level, decent power, a little bit wild, but any point, if he gets his fight to the ground, it's over.
Yep.
Like, I'm not calling Costa a bum by any means, but one word I like to use is levels. And Moises is levels above this kid
is
on the
one of
ground.
those spots where the level is going to be a huge difference, and we're going to see it because Costa has not fought anybody near the level of Moises. So,
And even at his price tag, 9K, do I want to finish early if he gets to the ground? Absolutely. But there's a chance, even at 9K, let's say if it goes 3 rounds, takedowns, control, and maybe like let's say with all that time, and then has a late round 3 finish or decision, he can still pay. He can still get in the 100 range with a decision.
absolutely.
I think Moises at 9K could be one of the. I don't want to use the word safe because Almeida's safe, but hard to get to. But he's one of the other 9K options who could be low owned in GPP. And ideally, I think he's one of the more safer options.
I'm with you. I definitely agree with you. So both of us going with Thiago Moises. We might be split on this next one.
We'll see.
It's Gregory Rodriguez and Bruno Ferreira. Man, I took Gregory Rodriguez, but man, I think this fight is a lot closer than the odds say. And the only reason I ended up going with Rodriguez is because I think his skill set is slightly better all around. And he's definitely fought better competition. But that said, Ferreira is a freaking beast.
Mm-hmm.
And he could easily knock Rodriguez out at any point in this match. So if Rodriguez goes to his wrestling right away, I definitely tip it. He's going to control him on the mat the whole time. But Ferreira's got some dangerous power. So my pick is Rodriguez. It's really close. I'd be very split on GPP picks with both of them. I would not use either one of them in cash, but both I'd probably do one of each and, somewhere along the line.
So I know for the longest week, I was on Ferreira. I had my reasons. I think he's the better striker because Rodriguez tends to be, as his nickname, the RoboCop on the feet. Mm-hmm. Slow as hell, but his power scary as shit. And the only thing that I'm curious about, and I showed you before, I even showed you the picture. I don't know how he got cleared from that cut. That cut was one of the nastiest cuts. You saw bone. Usually, I know regular cuts takes 3 to 4 months. That's not a regular cut. And I'm only expecting, even hit on that cut, what kind of training is he doing? There's no way in hell throughout them 3 to 4 months. Even with headgear, you can't wear headgear during striking with that stuff. You can't get hit with that. That's soft tissue. I don't know what kind of training he's been doing. I don't know. That's the only thing. Like, I don't know what kind of training he's doing.
Well, he's had since September. I mean, if it took 5 months, he still had a full month to get ready.
I know they're going to be cautious with it, though. I know that, but because that thing can open, that's deep scar tissue.
Yeah, we'll see it tomorrow. It's one of those things we'll have to keep an eye on, look at it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch some interviews and try to see the scale. But if Ferreira can actually push the forward pace, similar, I'm not going to, this is a long time ago, similar to Williams did to RoboCop in the Contender Series, and actually bull rush the hell out of him before he even gets started, Ferreira wins this fight 10 out of 10 times if he bull rushes him. Because when he gets hit, Rodriguez stumbles hard. That's the only thing, the chin. Ferreira, I think Ferreira belongs a weight class down, but he got insane. He's similar to what Wynn was. Undersized for the division, but this guy actually has scary power. If he catches, he's a sneaky GPP option. And I'll say this right now. If it gets out of round 1, and if nobody gets a finish, either one of these guys get a finish in round 1, somebody pays it off. Or 2, if it gets out of round 1 and they're both just being sloppy, this fight could bust.
I don't think
There's
so.
a slim chance this fight could bust. But I think Rodriguez wins. I'm going Rodriguez. I think I said I was hyping on Ferreira. I'm going Rodriguez. But Ferreira is worth a possible, if you're playing multiple lines, a spot is a deep GPP threat because he's very qualified for a round 1 finish. But Rodriguez, if he doesn't get it round 1, maybe he could keep getting knockdowns, control. I do like other 9K options over Rodriguez, but he's another guy that can be possibly lower owned. People, like I said, going for, like I said, I think some people are going to try to go up to Almeida, but
Aside from Nunes, I think Rodriguez will be the lowest on 9K option.
Yeah. I'm trying to stay away from, for now, I'm not having neither one in my lineup, which I do like other options, but my pick is Rodriguez.
All right, both of us going with RoboCop Rodriguez. We both do agree that Ferrer is an excellent GPP play, though.
Yes.
All right, on to Shogun and Poteria. If this fight was 3 years ago, I might go with Shogun, but
I
he's
know our head and
retiring.
heart's going to be in two different places.
He's retiring after this fight. He has not looked good. He's slow. Poteria comes out fast. He's wild. This is going to end real quickly.
I still don't. I agree with you. Either two things happen. Poteria absolutely bull rushes Shogun.
That's what I'm expecting.
Flatlines him within the first couple minutes. Or I'm not saying no, I'm going Shogun. This guy is very hittable. He did not look good. He did not look good against Nikolai Negumereanu. Not one bit. Negumereanu lit him up like a Christmas tree.
Well, it was that knee that really did it, and Shogun doesn't have a knee, so.
But I have a feeling if somehow someone doesn't get knocked out in this fight, this is one of my sleeper contender, not pretty much a contender as a potential fight of the night. If these guys just let it go, if someone doesn't drop, this fight could be fight of the night.
You think Shogun's going to come out that hot, though?
Shogun's at home.
I know.
Shogun's going to let it go in this fight.
Frankie Edgar did the same thing, and then he died.
Hey, we're not talking about Frankie. Leave him alone. He's retired in New Jersey right now.
Cowboy did the same thing, and he died.
Cowboy's big as hell now, but that's a whole different conversation.
He is huge.
But
yeah, I like Poteria for GPP. I actually like him for cash too. I don't think Rua is going to be much of anything in this fight. He's done. That's why he's retiring. He's old. He wants to go out with a bang. I don't see it happening. It's going to be 1-2 knockout, done, gloves on.
Pretty much I got to try to see how my line's going to look. If I don't think Poteria gets a round one finish, I don't think he pays off 89 unless he gets knockdowns out the ass in the next round. But
Poteria throws a ton of volume, and all he does. Oh God, he is. There's no doubt about that.
No,
but in a fight like this, where he's going against a guy who's ancient and retiring, he can also submit Shogun. I mean, he's got. The only way I see him losing is if Rua somehow gets on top of him and just sits on him.
Yep,
that's it. And it's not going to happen.
Makes it a boring fight, a boring boo. Try to get a win and then throws gloves.
Poteria doesn't have a boring fight.
No, he doesn't. I still think he's overrated.
He will push and push and push and push. Now, if he pushed and Shogun just randomly got a counter in there, knocked him out, I think the entire world might explode.
Oh, I'll explode. I'm not even picking Shogun, but deep in my heart, I love Shogun.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is one pick I would not be mad about if we get wrong.
Absolutely.
But
both of us going with Ior Poteria.
Mm-hmm.
Rua had an amazing career. We will miss him.
Yes, we will.
All right, main card. Johnny Walker. Go ahead, Joey.
Two things happened in this fight. And
submission or knockout for one or the other?
I'll reward it. Three things happened in this fight. Johnny Walker absolutely knocks him the hell out because Paul Craig, if you go back to Paul Craig, he does struggle against big, powerful guys. Menefield knocked him to another dimension. Freaking, yeah, I thought Krylov was going to finish him. I thought he was out. And then somehow he rose up like the Undertaker and snatched a damn triangle. But I think Paul Craig's a little overrated. Like I said, he's a BJJ nerd, but he's a very good BJJ nerd. He's not going to strike with Walker. And what's going to scare me?
He wanted to come out and knock him out. You can't do that with Johnny Walker.
No, if you try to come in, we approach like you did against Nikita Krylov. Yes, Krylov knocked you on your butt. Johnny Walker might break your chin. But, now, Walker finally showed his capabilities of finishing. 2, Craig somehow does it what Craig does, gets his ass handed to him, and somehow snatches a sub. Or B, no, this C. Could be a similar fight between him and Volkov. I hope I'm
I
wrong
don't
on
think
that
so.
one because I had Volkov in my one line. And
Vulcan.
yeah,
You talking
Volkan
about
Ozdemir. And he's only scored like 80 freaking points
Yeah.
because all Craig wanted to do was lay on his back and make it a boring
Dude,
fight.
God, that fight pissed me off, and that's why I'm so against Craig right now. That
Yep.
I was so unbelievably annoyed with his stupid antics in that fight. Get up, he came out after it, like it wasn't less than a month ago. He said he wanted to come out and show people that he's got power and that he can knock out Johnny Walker and whatever, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Well, then why didn't you do it against Ozdemir? Because
Ozdemir's
Ozdemir's,
more flat-footed.
yeah, I mean that was the time to show off your power. Instead, you sat on your back like a damn fish out of the water, and it was dumb. So for me in this fight, yes, Craig can always throw that flying triangle or grab a neck, whatever it is. He is great on the mat. There's no doubt about it. But Johnny Walker is also pretty good on the mat, and he is a lot larger. His span is a lot longer, and man, he has some ridiculous power and
Deft touch.
Superman punches and flying knees, whatever he wants to do. I think this is going to end real quick. Johnny Walker is one of my favorite plays on this card, and I think he puts Paul Craig down really fast.
Hopefully in round one.
That'd be nice.
Because I got to see what I can do because I have a lot of like higher tier.
This will be a very difficult card to play DraftKings wise, especially for me because I'm on so many favorites.
So am I.
All right, so both of us going with Johnny Walker. Next fight, I don't have a whole lot to say for this one. I'm on Jessica Andrade all day. I will continue to stay on her until she shows me that she just can't do it. Jessica Andrade is a freaking beast, and anybody that says she isn't can just stop watching. She has striking, she has submissions, she has grappling, wrestling, she has everything. She is literally a complete package aside from being a tiny person. She is going to come in, she is going to bull rush Lauren Murphy like she has done everybody else, and she is going to knock Lauren Murphy out in the first round.
Okay. I can't disagree on the Andrade. She's very dangerous. But I'll say this. I'm pulling up stats. Just stats alone. You can't count Lauren Murphy. Somehow she finds ways to win, even as a dog. Her last 5 fights as a dog, she's 4-1. Of course, everyone knew she was going to lose.
But look who she's fought. She fought and beat Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate came back after 2.5 years, whatever. Congratulations, you beat her. You lost Shevchenko. Okay, that's Shevchenko, so that's whatever. But then she beat an aging Joanne Wood.
Which I was on Murphy for that fight, which it hurt me because I like Wood.
Yeah, I was too. But she beat Shakarova, Roxanne Modafferi, who was,
which she was a favorite in that fight.
And then in 2020, she did beat Andrea KGB Lee, which that is a good win. But I don't think she'd get it again if they fought again. And she beat Barella before that. But before that, she lost to Eubanks and Chukagian. So she has not beaten anybody on the level of Jessica Andrade. Not anywhere close.
So I'll say this. I know during that time before Wood lost, she came off that loss of Jennifer Maia off that bullshit submission shit. During that time, Wood was still ranked, in the top 6, top 7? It's still a decent, good win by name. But I understand you said really no top 5 win. Tate wasn't ranked. She came back, thought she could have a comeback, and she pretty much got hugged and muscled. My only worry about this one, if Andrade doesn't get a round 1 finish, and I know she likes to have that bully approach, Lauren Murphy in her right mind is a strong female. And that's one thing that worries me.
Let me stop you right there. Oh. Amanda Lemos is the same damn way, and look what Jessica Andrade did. She submitted her standing up. She got an arm triangle on somebody taller than her standing up.
I didn't think Lemos that much taller. I know Lemos like 5'4", but Murphy's like 5'6". But Murphy looks like one of them female jacked up action figures of how big she is. But and usually Andrade likes to be the bully. I think there's times in this fight they're gonna take turns with that. Andrade's going to have clinch in the front. Murphy's going to flip her in the cage, have control. There's a chance this fight could suck.
I mean,
And one
it's
thing that scared me,
possible.
Murphy somehow finds a way to get decision wins with using her strength. But if you're telling me if this is a pure striking match, I think Andrade TK's over. Will easily, in her right mind, TKO her before the end of round 3.
She will. I think it's going to be just like the Chukagian fight with Andrade. Andrade had 2 takedowns against Chuk and then knocked her out at 4:55 in the first round. Lauren Murphy, skill wise, is really similar to Chukagian.
But more
She's
action.
just a better wrestler.
And more action. And you don't hear, and also you don't hear from Murphy like Chukagian.
Right.
But
I mean, I get it. I understand the love for Murphy. She has looked good. But now she's
since
39.
her Ultimate Fighter return, she looked good. And showed that now she's more control, not too much sloppy. She actually follows a game plan, which some fighters in the female division don't do. And if you follow a game plan, you can rank yourself high. And that's what Murphy does. She follows a game plan. I don't think she's going to try to make it a striking match. I think she's going to try to make it boring. Even at 6,800, very, very deep dart if you think it's going to be a boring fight, which it could be.
Don't do it. No dart for Murphy.
No, I'm not saying I'm playing Murphy. But I'm saying if you trying to pay off for all these insane high people, Murphy's decent with control time. She might get control time.
Here's the problem, though. What she's going to try to do is she's going to try to put Andrade in the clinch. Andrade is much stronger than her. She's not going to hold it. Lemos tried it, and look what happened. She got submitted, standing up.
But with that being said, I think I said this fight could be boring. I'm still going Andrade. I had all this build up. I was thinking about going Murphy.
Yeah, and I talked you out of it because I'm smart.
A little bit, just a little bit, but all I know is she finds the way to win when she's a big dog.
Like, not in this one.
If
she was a big dog against Shevchenko, and she crumbled.
Well, everyone in their damn mama knew that was going to happen. But everyone else, not Shevchenko, somehow she likes to somehow pull out some kind of unanimous, which it shouldn't have been unanimous, or she wants to split. But I'm going to try to stay away from it.
That's fair. Both of us going with Jessica Andrade. I am all over Andrade. So the next one I know we disagreed on. Hopefully your mind changed a little bit. Gilbert Burns and Neil Magny. Man, I'll let you take this one first so you can get your nonsense out.
All right. Oh, damn, nonsense. That's cold. So Burns, good grappler, dangerous grappler. He's involving his striking at welterweight. That was always my one worry when he decided not to cut to 55 no more. Because I thought if he could stay at 55 the way he is now, I think there's a chance he could be champ before Makhachev came up. Because I don't know who beats Makhachev now. Good Lord.
Nobody.
Improving, everyone's like, oh, maybe he doesn't have power. He rocked Usman. He rocked Chimaev. And everyone thought Chimaev was going to run through him. I picked Burns in that fight.
As did I.
Very close decision. Magny, out of the two, I'd say that he's slightly more well-rounded, the better striker. Look, he's the better striker. Let me finish. Better striker. The wrestling, I think, Burns slightly has the better wrestling, but wrestling, BJJ Burns all day. I'm not going to lie with that. But one thing I can say about Magny, he finds ways to win. Long, rangy guy. He keeps people at his range. And if I know Burns is going to do what he did against Wonderboy Thompson, Burns is going to run through him like it's nothing. Nothing. And I'm a Magny guy. If he goes, said, you know what? I'm doing the same thing I did to Wonderboy. He is going to kill his price at 93. He's going to steamroll. But the only thing I don't like from what I've seen from Burns, he's pretty much already disregarding Magny, saying, Magny. He keeps talking about Chimaev. Focus on your fight. I hate when fighters do that because they don't give the fighter the respect they deserve because Magny's no bum. He's not a bum. I don't agree with the odds, but I do agree Burns should at least be a high 2-1, low 3-1. Burns shouldn't be almost no 4-1. I'm sorry. Magny is still good in his own right. If Magny can, I like Magny more than I was trying to build up Murphy. I think this is where I'll definitely say this. Magny is worth a deep GPP throw if he stops the takedown and uses his range. And he's the only one below that range. I won't go any lower. Well, you can't really go any lower. If I really want to go, I may as opponent, but I'm not doing that. But he's one of the guys that is going to be sneaky at 6'9". And he definitely helps you get up to the other high range of the high 8K, some of the 9K range. I'm going Magny. I'm not trying to be biased because I've been a fan of him since day one. But you can't tell me he's not one of the more improved guys since coming to the UFC.
Here's what I will tell you.
Okay, speak up, young man.
You're on crack. 2, I'm gonna go through these wins of Neil Magny, and you tell me who is on the level of wrestling and grappling of Burns. Okay, you ready for this? We're just gonna go back 6 fights. We got the Leech, he's a striker. You got Rocco Martin, he's a striker.
Well-rounded.
Robbie Lawler.
Robbie Lawler's he's done.
Yeah. Jeff Neal is a striker.
Jeff Neal, striker.
Max Griffin is a striker.
Well-rounded, but striker.
And D-Rod is a striker. So if this was a striking match, yes, absolutely. He would probably keep it at range and he'd probably win. Who did he lose to? Michael Chiesa.
I feel slightly overrated.
And Rachmaninoff. So
Rachmaninoff, hey, that's a good loss though.
I've been telling you since he came in, I was all over him. But
Rachmaninoff's a bad boy, bro.
This is going to be the same type of fight. He is going
Burns
to completely
actually gets that
him.
ego out his head and says, "Look, if he actually gets ready for this fight, there's a chance Burns wins under 2.5." Good.
I'm not sure. See, I'm not sure that he gets a finish. I actually like this to go over 2.5. And I say that because I expect Burns to just wrestle him the entire time. And Burns is pissed off right now because Muhammad jumped him in the rankings, which makes sense because Muhammad has beaten 4 guys that are ranked. But Burns is going to come out angry, and he's going to want this to be a completely one-sided affair, and it's going to be. Magny is not going to be able to stop him.
Hey, I'm still going Magny, bro. Look, there's some people I
would be, see, you're going to go with him, but you wouldn't go with T-Rex. T-Rex has more of a chance to win than Magny does.
But is T-Rex 6,900?
No.
If you told me T-Rex was 6,900, I would throw a piggy bank money at T-Rex.
All right, fair enough.
The only thing I'll say about this, Magny, like I said, Magny allows you to get to the guys you want to pay up for. But if Magny wins, even a decision, a point decision, work, jab, he could score. He may not even need to score that much. He could probably score high 70s to low 80s and still make optimal at that price tag with a win.
At that price, yes.
Yes.
This might be one of those weird weeks where it is literally almost all favorites and a 40-point underdog loss puts you in the top. But we will see. We are split again. I am on Gilbert Burns. You are on Magny. Plus, they're in Brazil. What are you doing, dude? Andrade, Burns, Fig. They're all from Brazil. You're silly. All right, the next one. God, man, this fight. I love both of these guys. I hate picking between them. I hate it. Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno. I love the babyface assassin, but I am going with Figueiredo again, mainly because this is in his home. Yep. And he did not have to fly halfway across the world to weight cut. He was able to do it at home. People said that he looked like he had a bad weight cut. No, he didn't. He is perfectly fine.
Not even close.
He is completely shredded. His power is going to be immaculate. And he wants to keep his belt because he is moving to 135 after this fight. He already came out and said it. He wants to move up. He wants to be, he wants to be like all these new guys that want 2 belts. So I think Moreno's best chance to win is still going to be by volume or wrestling, grappling. But Fig's going to come out and he's going to have that power and he's probably going to knock Moreno down again at some point. And I think that's going to be it. But you can go with either one. There's a reason that they're so close everywhere, betting and, DFS. So it's really pick your poison, go with who you're comfortable with. I'm on Fig.
I'm also on Fig. He's at home. Moreno said, I want to fight him in Brazil. So I'm not gonna lie, that takes big balls to say and do. But Figueroa looks good, bro. He's looking insane. He looks like he's ready to rip Moreno's head off. And the only thing I'm concerned about in this fight, Moreno was also in that camp of James Krause for a long time, which also sucks. I'm not saying he had anything to do with the bidding, but when you're telling me you're going through a whole new squad with your coaching, you're not gonna have your lead guy there for this fight. That's gonna look. It's gonna take a little bit to actually trust your new head corner guy. You're probably still gonna have some familiar faces, but I think Figueroa is gonna come out here with a mission.
Yep.
Look, I'll say this: Figueroa should have 2 wins against him if it wasn't for that bullshit draw.
Well, it's because he got that point deducted.
Which is
It
horse.
shouldn't even be a fight right now.
No,
but
I think Figueroa's gonna come out. Yeah, I think hope he doesn't blow his wad early because the cardio could be affected later on potentially, but I think he finishes Moreno. I think Moreno is going to get a little bouncy on the feet, and I think Figueroa is going to catch him, drop him, and maybe either get a ground and pound or a sub. But I love Figueroa in this fight.
And so Moreno was losing that fight to Kai Kara France until he got that liver kick. So that's another thing to think about.
And maybe once, Figgy goes up, then now watch. I can guarantee you he's going to beat Moreno. He's going to go up to 35. Do you give him someone in the top 5 right away?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so think about some of the top 5
I think Figueroa is going to be more dominant at 135 than he is at 125.
Yeah, less of a cut.
I mean, his power is going to be huge. So I absolutely say they give him a top 5 fighter right away.
And then once he goes up, then it's going to be all kinds of craziness. Then it's going to be like, oh, what if they maybe one thing I would like to see, maybe do a fight night card with Moreno fighting somebody, and then maybe have like Kai Kara France fight somebody. The 2 winners, then they meet up for a title. Do like a 4-way like flyweight contender match for it. Because ideally, if they don't do that, it's going to end up being Moreno versus whoever because they're going to give Moreno that one shot again.
Well, they'll probably let Kai Kara France do it again.
I hope so. I love Kai Kara France.
I do too. Either way, Figueroa is going to move up, and back to what you said about do they give him a top 5? I think what should happen. I'm not saying this is going to happen. They give him the loser of Sandhagen and Cheeto Vera.
Ooh, I would love to see him versus Vera because him and Sandhagen, I think he towers on.
Yeah,
it's like a tree versus a. But I just think Figgy can work in takedowns. Figgy could hit him with body shots, but like, how does he reach the chin?
I don't know. Well, we'll see how it goes. First, he's got to get through this fight.
He will.
So both of us going with Davis and Figueroa. It is another close fight. On to the main event. We got Glover Teixeira, Jamal Hill. I'll let you take this one first because, yeah.
I grew up on Glover. I love Glover. Nobody can say a bad thing about him. And if you do, you're a piece of shit. He's more well-rounded, good boxer, easily the better wrestler, better BJJ. He came out in an interview saying that he doesn't plan on retiring yet, which, okay, that's good to hear, but he took a lot of damage his last fight. I thought there was times Yuri was going to finish him. Yuri's power didn't do it.
Nope.
And if you want to talk about just looks alone, I would have said Hill has scary power, but Hill has some of the scariest power I've ever seen. Fighting at 205 since Rumble Johnson and RIP Rumble. But he's a tall, rangy, good striker. Shit load of volume. And one thing that could possibly happen him. If you really want to get past Glover, you rush him. Don't let him get comfortable. Don't even let him consider I'm going to shoot a blast double on you. And go from there. But I think the later the fight goes on, it could be Glover's fight. potentially, but I'm on Hill. I think there's a chance Hill could put him to sleep badly. You've seen Glover struggle against pure power. Like, look at Govison. Govison blasted him with uppers. Rumble touched him once, knocked him in Alice in Wonderland. If Hill touches him clean once, like he did, similar to Johnny Walker, I think Glover's done. He's going to wake up, ask him what happened, and Hill's going to be champion. And if Hill does it, I think it's under 3.5. It might not even happen round one. I think this Hill showed more control as he did against Thiago Santos, which I was impressed with. I was curious of how his cardio was going to hold. His cardio looks fine. And I think it's going to have to be similar. I think he's going to battle takedowns. He's going to stuff them. Is he going to stuff everyone? Probably not. But he's going to stuff takedowns. I think. And if he gets a finish, I think it's going to be early. If not, who knows? Maybe he can get one late before end of round 5 when Glover gets a little tired and his hands slowly start to drop. And all he needs is one punch. I'm on Jamal Hill. I'm trying to see, like, if I think he gets an early finish under, we'll say 1.5, I'm going to play him. If I don't think he gets it early, but I do like his volume alone could get him into damn optimal if Glover decides not to wrestle. But I'm going Hill. Like I said, 15 fights is going to be hard to fully get who you want. So, yeah, I'm going Hill.
We are going to be split again. I am going with the old dog, Glover Teixeira. And I've got multiple reasons for it. Glover, so he was winning that fight against Jiri, and Jiri's got
until
but aside from that, Glover, all that damage you mentioned, that fight was in June. He's had plenty of time. He's good to go. He is, for whatever reason, in the best shape of his life. It makes no sense at all. Jamal Hill was taken down 6 times by an aging and slow-ass Thiago Santos. Glover is still better than Santos, and he is going to make this fight a wrestling match. He's going to put Jamal Hill down. If Thiago can take him down 6 times, you can bet your ass that Glover is going to be able to take him down multiple times. Does he have that one-touch power? Absolutely. Jamal Hill could put him out in any round. But Glover still has a chin. He does not really get knocked out, and he should be able to control this match. Plus, Hill has not really – there's a lot of people that say Hill has not earned this fight. He should be fighting for the belt right now.
I can agree to that to an extent. But
he has not earned his way all the way up to the top, especially since he, had recently lost to Paul Craig.
Where he got his arm snapped.
So Jamal Hill, both of these guys make good GPP plays. I like Glover for cash and GPP. This is going to go over 3 rounds. I don't think Hill's going to get the knockout. I think Glover controls the match, puts him on the mat, and just wrestle fucks him. So Glover's my boy. I'll
say this right now. I've almost switched my pick during your talk because I'm like so torn.
I was going to tell you you're not allowed to switch your pick. So
okay, screw it. I don't care. But like I said, there's a few picks on this card I'm not going to be mad about.
I'll let you come back to the good side if you want to switch your pick. You got 5 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2. Shit, I'll go Glover. Fuck.
Good man.
I like Jamal Hill because if it's a knockout early, Hill's gonna catch him. But oh god, this like I said, this is a fight I wouldn't be mad if I got wrong on. But you know that saying, go on one more long ride with the vet. He's at home. He should, in my opinion, he should never lost that fight. Yeah, I guess I'll go Glover. But I'm scared of this fight because we'll see. Like I told you, I remember beginning of the week. I think depending on how your lineup looks, there's a chance you may not need to play this fight.
I'm playing this fight. Glover's a dog, and I'm sticking with him.
This fight is gonna kick me in my ass because if I come back and Hill wins by knockout, I'm be like shit.
So I just realized that I have all 5 of the Brazilians winning the main card.
Do you really? Yeah.
Yep. Sure
1,
do.
2, 3, 4. Oh shit,
Teixeira,
you do.
Fig, Burns, Andrade, and Walker. So I'm going with all the home dogs, or well, home favorites, but
Wow, yeah.
as well as both Bonfim brothers, Almeida, Alves, New. Wow, almost my whole card
I'll say this
is
right now.
Brazil.
If they all those Brazil's guys win, you're probably gonna be at what 11 wins, maybe. Or 12, depending
Yep.
on how the rest goes. But
All right, so that takes care of all of that. We got our picks locked in. Lock of the night. Who
you're
besides
going first.
Almeida? That's cheating.
No, I'm not doing. You're going first. I'm not going on mate. I'm not that dumb.
All right, lock of the night. Last week I went with Strickland. I was all over it, and I was right. And I'm going to do it again in the main event. My lock is Glover Teixeira.
Okay. So one thing I always look for the word L word of lock. I try to find someone who's a better striker, and it could be strike and match. And this one's gonna hurt me. I'm going Bond for him.
Why wouldn't you use him? Well, I mean, never mind. I guess technically,
Look,
since both of them are
I
dogs,
did it
you
last
could
week.
use them as their favorite dogs.
I had Kovalov as a dog, better striker, win by KO. Bond for him, a better striker, could win by KO as a dog. Oh, I have a few dogs I could go after, but if I want to go, yeah, there's some dogs I'm gonna get. I can probably make a lineup any way I want, but
So, all right. So Glover Teixeira is a dog. He is my lock. Last week, Strickland was my lock. He was also a dog then. So I'm going to make a good habit of picking dogs as my lock. Make you some money. My favorite dog is your lock, Bonfim. I absolutely love him in this fight. He could he get knocked out or submitted? Absolutely. But he is, as far as dogs go, he's my favorite aside from Glover. So I'm locking him in as my favorite dog pick. How about you?
yeah, I would say he's one of my favorite dogs. If not, like I said, I think Magny's live for my own personal beliefs and reasons. So I might have him and Magny. So with that, I could damn near put anybody I want in my line. Especially even with Magny. I think after that you get like 87 or 88 to do whatever the hell you want with it. And then there's a few selective guys that I'm actually liking for potential low ownership, and I can go from there.
So who's your favorite dog? Who are you going with, Magny?
No, I want to, but I'm gonna go Bond for him. I think he has the higher upside and score. Discard a price. I just think in that range, he has the higher price that's ever seen. Besides Glover, as you said, if the fight goes and Glover does get takedown and control, I think Glover could potentially break the slate with just control. But yeah, I'm gonna go Bond for him.
All right, and give me a hot take, Joey.
Ooh, hot take. I think Cody Stamen is gonna be one of the lower owned 9K options, and I think there's a chance he could absolutely dominate this fight and break the slate. No matter if it's with an early knockout, if he gets control time and gets takedowns and protects his neck, he can break the slate with takedowns. Because this guy Rosada, he accepts the bottom. I watched his fights before. I never seen somebody that says, "Okay, I'm gonna lay on my back. What are you gonna do about it?" If you actually know how to play good defensive wrestling, you can control this fight the whole fight. And he breaks that 9200. And you know what? I'm gonna say one more. I don't see Almeida paying off his price tag. But that could be kind of because 9,700 is hard. But I want to say it's obvious, but I don't think him. I think he needs over like 125, 130 to pay that off. I think he still gets maybe like below 110. Because you're gonna need some serious dogs to pay off that price tag.
Man, you're close there. Mine, I'm going to go Simon Oliveira first round submission. Rear naked choke.
He's gonna be low. There's a chance he's low owned.
I think he will be, especially because Marcos is 13-0 and he's a solid prospect and he's got the better striking. But I told you at the beginning of the week I was going to lock in Oliveira, then I went back on it, and now I'm going to go back on it. So I'm going same on Oliveira, first round submission. That's my hot take.
Hey man, nothing's wrong with that.
So, all right, that wraps up all of that. You got anything else to add to the card?
All right, so I just want to go over one more thing. So we were 9-2 last week. I'm just gonna go down and recap. You went Oliveira, I went Marcos. We're both on noons.
I got it all written down.
Oh, okay, you do it, 9. We're good then.
Yep. Yep. I wrote them all down this week and make sure that we had it all.
Oh, good. Because I want to
Good to
rewatch
go.
the video just to fully make sure.
All righty. Well, that wraps things up. Thanks for watching. Can't wait for this card. It is going to be absolutely killer. And hopefully we have, well, we will have a new champion, I guess, no matter what. But hopefully Fig holds on to his. Glover becomes champ again. And we get to get some more exciting matchups in the Figueiredo future.